a pillar of Hamas. Ismail Haniyeh. Ismail Haniyeh was more than just the political leader of Hamas. He was a symbol of Palestinian resistance, a shrewd strategist, and a voice of defiance against Israeli occupation. Born in the Shati refugee camp in Gaza, Haniyeh's life mirrored the Palestinian struggle. He witnessed firsthand the hardships of displacement, the yearning for a homeland, and the simmering anger against Israeli policies. Haniyeh's rise through the ranks of Hamas was steady and impactful. He earned the trust of the people, becoming a prominent figure in the organization's social service networks. This grassroots approach, coupled with his fiery oratory skills, cemented his position as a leader who understood the plight of ordinary Palestinians. He was a pragmatist and a hardliner, capable of negotiating ceasefires with Israel while remaining committed to the armed struggle for liberation. Haniyeh's leadership was tested time and again, particularly during the numerous conflicts with Israel. Each confrontation saw him emerge as a unifying figure, rallying his people and solidifying his position within Hamas. His death, therefore, leaves a void that will be difficult to fill. The news of Ismail Haniyeh's assassination sent shockwaves across the Middle East. The Hamas leader was killed in Tehran, Iran, in a daring operation that has raised more questions than answers. The details surrounding his death remain shrouded in mystery, fueling speculation and escalating tensions in the region. According to initial reports, Haniyeh was targeted while attending a high-level security meeting with Iranian officials. The attack, which reportedly involved a sophisticated drone strike, also claimed the lives of several other high-ranking Hamas members. The audacity of the operation, carried out in the heart of Tehran, has raised concerns about security breaches and the possibility of inside assistance. While no group has officially claimed responsibility for the attack, fingers are being pointed at Israel. The Jewish state has a history of targeting Hamas leaders, often citing preemptive measures to prevent future attacks. However, the boldness of this assassination, coupled with the choice of location, suggests a potential shift in Israeli tactics. The assassination of Ismail Haniyeh has ignited a firestorm of reactions, with fears of a full-blown regional conflict looming large. Hamas, vowing swift and severe retribution, has declared a day of rage, urging Palestinians to rise up against Israel. The Gaza Strip, already a powder keg of tensions, is bracing itself for a fresh wave of violence. Israel, anticipating retaliatory attacks, has raised its security alert to the highest level. Troops have been deployed to the border with Gaza, and air raid sirens have become an ominous soundtrack to daily life in southern Israel. The possibility of a miscalculation, a retaliatory strike that spirals out of control, has become a terrifying reality. The international community, caught in the crossfire, has issued urgent calls for restraint. Diplomatic efforts are underway to prevent a wider escalation, but the path to de-escalation is fraught with obstacles. The assassination of Haniyeh has opened a Pandora's box of uncertainties, leaving the region teetering on the brink. Section 4. A history of targeted killings, echoes of the past. The assassination of Ismail Haniyeh is not an isolated incident. It is the latest chapter in a long and bloody history of targeted killings that have defined the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Both sides have resorted to this tactic, often justifying it as a necessary evil in a seemingly endless cycle of violence. Israel has long maintained a policy of targeting what it deems high-value targets within Hamas and other Palestinian militant groups. These operations, often shrouded in secrecy and met with international condemnation, have claimed the lives of numerous Hamas leaders, including Sheikh Ahmed Yassin, Abdel Aziz al-Rantisi, and Ahmed Jabari. Hamas, for its part, has also carried out numerous suicide bombings and targeted attacks against Israeli civilians and military personnel. These attacks, while condemned as acts of terrorism by Israel and the international community, are often framed by Hamas as legitimate acts of resistance against an occupying power. Section 5. The future of Hamas: uncertainty and transition. The assassination of Ismail Haniyeh throws the future of Hamas into a state of uncertainty. His death, is a significant blow to the organization, robbing it of a charismatic leader who held sway over both its political and military wings. The question now is whether Hamas can navigate this transition of power without succumbing to internal divisions or resorting to further violence. Haniyeh's successor will inherit a complex and volatile landscape. They will face pressure from hardliners within Hamas to respond forcefully to Israel, while also grappling with the humanitarian crisis in Gaza and the need to maintain unity within the organization. The coming weeks and months will be crucial in determining the trajectory of Hamas. The possibility of a power struggle within Hamas cannot be ruled out. Haniyeh's deputy, Saleh al-Aruri, is seen as a potential successor, but other figures within the organization may also vie for the leadership role. The outcome of this internal jostling will have significant implications for the future of Hamas and its approach towards Israel. Section 6. The international stage calls for calm and condemnation. The assassination of Ismail Haniyeh has reverberated across the international community, drawing widespread condemnation and calls for restraint from world leaders. The United Nations Security Council convened an emergency meeting to address the escalating situation, with diplomats urging all parties to avoid actions that could further inflame tensions. The United States, a staunch ally of Israel, condemned the attack, but stopped short of directly blaming Iran. The European Union expressed deep concern over the potential for a wider conflict, urging both sides to exercise maximum restraint and engage in dialogue. The assassination of Haniyeh highlights the urgent need for a renewed international effort to find a lasting solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The cycle of violence, punctuated by targeted killings and retaliatory attacks, only deepens the mistrust and animosity between the two sides. A comprehensive peace process, one that addresses the root causes of the conflict and guarantees the security and rights of both Israelis and Palestinians, is long overdue.